I never thought that this was going to be a part of my life. Like, I never thought that I'd be an alcoholic at, 19 years old.
We never thought we would be in this financial position. We always figured we would be able to do it on our own.
I lost everything in Bhutan. The more important thing is I lost my future.
When I was 55, I had the incident due to an allergy to eye drops. I became blind overnight.
I'm Chelsea D. I started drinking when I was 13 years old. My first drink was actually at a Passover dinner at a teacher's house. Once I had that first one, I didn't want to stop. And, I had the second and then the third. It made everything go away. It just kind of spiraled downhill from there. Smoking pot on campus, drinking and driving all the time. I was drinking almost every day till I blacked out or passed out. I had this emptiness inside of me. I was ready to just die. That's all I felt. In my household, my parents were very caught up in their own drama, so I didn't have anybody to turn to.
Corey and I met through a Jewish matchmaker. The rest is history. We have been married for over 13 years now, 2 girls and 1 little boy.
The change in economy has affected us dramatically. I thought that George and I were secure in the jobs that we were holding. He was a contractor for the government. I was working in a collections department.
Everything kind of, happened together. I needed to have the major operation. I stayed in the hospital for quite a long time.
Financially, I was fine for the first 6 weeks he was out.
We thought that I would be able to go back to work pretty quickly, but unfortunately, my job went, and we found out that Corey is going to be laid off from her work, and the world for us really went upside down.
Suk grew up in Bhutan. He is an ethnic minority there of Nepali descent. As the population increased, the majority Bhutanese felt threatened and started a series of repressive acts.
All of a sudden, I was forced to flee from the country.
Nepal would not absorb them. Bhutan wouldn't let them back in, so they were stuck on the border. So they just formed camps.
The situation there was unimaginable.
The camp lines up 1-liter jugs for a mile, everyone waiting to get water from these 2 pumps. In the camp, he met his wife, Gita, and they've had 2 children, Yalam and Yalina.
I'm scared whether my children will be getting poor care. 17 years of staying in camp, I felt some kind of frustration about my future.
My name is Doris Fiedrid. I was born in 1927 in Poland. I was born deaf. In 1941, there had been some rumors that the Nazis were coming into the town. I was home because I had been sick. And when I turned around, a Nazi was there. I was young, just 14, and he tried to grab me. And I started yelling, and my grandfather yelled out, "Don't touch her," and they turned around and shot him. We were forced to live in a Jewish ghetto. It was awful. They started killing people in the camps. In 1943, we started going into hiding.
My first contact with Jewish Family Service was when I was 4 months sober, and I was really close to a relapse. I didn't want to go back to the way that I was living, but I didn't know how to live sober. And I knew that there were certain things that I hadn't dealt with that I didn't think that AA could help me with. So I sought that out from Jewish Family Service. instantly, like, I just felt comfortable. And then I met Eve. And so I started coming like every other week to just talk to her, and I was able to let go and actually deal with a lot of those things. I felt like I had a safe place to go.
In the late 1990s, I gave several seminars at JFS on personal safety. Little did I know that in a very short time I would be needing the services of JFS for my own family.
The Hart family is a perfect example of the type of clients we're seeing in the food bank lately. This year has started with a 300% increase in new clients. Consequence from Boeing layoffs, Microsoft layoffs, those who were formerly employed are now attending Jewish Family Service for help and assistance.
We went in, they helped us with the food bank, and they gave us some Hanukkah presents for the children. They asked me what we needed financially. It was a big difference. They paid our rent for us. And to have a roof over your head and 3 children and a sick husband, it was a godsend for somebody to help.
The Rye family arrived this past January.
When I first landed in the airport, I was frightened at the beginning because I was not understanding the way the people were speaking. In the meantime, I found my case manager and she took care of us.
We brought them to their new home, which we had just furnished and filled with food and warm clothes. Gave them a little safety orientation, how to use the bathroom, the toilets, the shower. Yalam and Yalina were both born in the camps. They had never seen a sink. Water would just instantly come out with the turn of the wrist. And so coming here to the United States was just a huge change for them.
After reading these 3 months, what I found is I can make a better future here and my generation will be in a better position.
I moved to Seattle in 1982. Before that, I did have vision problems, but it wasn't until I went to the eye doctor to get new reading glasses. The eye drop incident happened. I became blind overnight. My case manager at the Deafblind Service Center contacted Jewish Family Service to see if they could provide support for me. Because of my vision and having more difficulty doing things, they helped me get services here. I've been getting help with cleaning my house. A couple of times a week I get help with cooking. We go to the grocery store. It's a challenge to think about what kinds of foods to cook, as it's more difficult for me as I'm older, to do baking, because I worry about not being able to see the burner or maybe a pan falling. These are kinds of things that you need for everyday life. It would be hard for me without the help. It would be very difficult.
It's amazing to be able to look back at where I came from and see where I'm at today. It's just this huge growth, and it's taken me a long time, but now I have purpose. And I think that was what I was looking for all along, was a sense of purpose and belonging.
I'm very happy to be an important part of this Jewish family. They helped me learn about America.
I give thank you very much. Our life is new life in USA.
It's been wonderful support, just wonderful. I'm a woman who's trying to live with dignity as a deafblind person. Thank you very much for your help.
We're very appreciative to JFS. You know, that they helped us keep the rental house that we're living in. You know, all of that's really important.
We thank JFS for giving us the opportunity to look forward and to forge forward.
I think that it's really important to help those out there struggling, you know, because sometimes they need that little extra support.
For people like me, for other people who have difficulties or are living in poverty, we need your support.
And it's hard to sit here on a camera and tell that to all the thousands of people out there that we needed that kind of help. But sometimes you need help. And they were there.